just for a moment, stand. So reach up over your head, reach your arms up until you feel your rib cage lift and expand, okay? And keeping that lifted kind of, if you can, without hurting your shoulders, rotate backwards and down until your arms come to your sides. You should feel as though your rib cage is open and expanded, okay? And then when you take a breath, breathe in and pull in gently at the same time and see if you can feel your rib cage expand even more and your back expand. And hold that feeling for a second. And when you're singing, that's the sensation you want in your body, that it is expanded and it continues expanding while you're singing, okay? Now we're going to start with the take a gentle breath, and we're going to always starting with a light adjustment of the chords because you don't want the vocal mechanism to get too heavy. So we'll start with that, keeping that posture. Just speak lightly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sustain the last part of it, or you're just going to sustain it so you can feel. And that gentle sensation that your body's giving you is what support kind of feels like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should feel nice and light. You want, as if you feel like 1, 2, 3, your voice is too heavy. Okay, now we're going to do the O with the. Imagine the O sitting at the back of your throat, in front of your ears. Oh, wah. As you go, when you say the wah, the tone is much smaller and kind of feels like a baby cry. Oh, wah. This will train your voice not to get heavier as it goes higher, but to get thinner. Oh, wah. And you can make the face like this. Because if you watch a baby cry, that's what they do. They go, wah, and they make that face. Okay. Oh, wah. Okay, now we're going to do hung ah. You're going to hung like you hung a picture on the wall. And when you say ah, when you say the NG, you're going to feel that there's a closure in the back of your throat. When you open for the ah, you got to keep the ah back where that closure is, like this. Hung ah, and keep the ah back there. Hung ah, then hung a. Hung a. Hungy. Hungy. It's back here. Hungo. Hungu. Hungu. This is going to train your vowel to keep this open in the back and to keep the vowel sitting back there. Now we're going to try a couple of shouts with the tone sitting at the back of your mouth. Hey! Just give it a shot. Hey! Ho! Ho. He! They're all sitting back in front of your ears. Hoo! Ha! Okay? If you do these things all the time, it does make a difference. Now, this one is done, the feeling is down here, down in your throat. Uh-oh, uh-oh, okay? Now, I'm going to go, Here we go. This is not bouncing the breath. The breath is holding still when you do this. This is just your vocal cords opening and closing down there. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Feel like a monkey. Ooh, 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 ooh. An E. E, 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 E. A. And now, one of my faves, of course, the quack. So let's quack. Quack, 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 quack. Here we go. Quack, 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 quack. Now keeping that feeling. Quack, ah. I know it sounds obnoxious, but the exercise is obnoxious. Quack, ah. And keep that sound of quack in the ah. Quack, ah. Quack, a. Quack, a. Quack, e. Quack, e. Then quack, o. Quack, o. Quack, ooh. Quack, ooh. If you feel like your throat's being closed partially, that's what the exercise does. And that narrows the vocal tract. So you get, you get a piercing sound like Jerry Lewis. Like that. And you can adjust how much of that you want in your sound over time. If you keep doing this exercise, you get control over these muscles. Here's something I wrote that I pass out to the kids when I'm teaching. It says here, just give you a moment of rest. It says, singing is an art. It is not enough that you know in your head what has to be done. It's not like math where you can learn it in your head and that's it. Your body needs to be trained to do all these things without you thinking about it so much. That requires practice. Look in the mirror and look how nice you look with your singing face on. That's with the, with the lifted eyebrows and lifted face. But anyway, the whole point being, this stuff has to be worked at. It does not just come because you know about it. You have to, if you go quack, quacky, quacky, do that about 3 or 4 times a day for a couple of minutes and wait and see after a couple of, if you start to tire, stop, of course, because sometimes it's hard to do it at first. You'd be amazed at what will happen to your voice, but you got to do it. I can't, okay? Last thing is a messa di voce, which is start with a gentle aspirate, not a ha, just a very gentle H and gradually build into a full tone. And then fade it away because we want to get control over the vocalis muscle. All these exercises that we do put the throat in a position where the cords can move freely, and then you can expand and contract the sound easily. So a little higher. Hey, the sound A. Start with a whisper. And expanded A. The vowel sits back here. A. And O. Raise the pitch a little bit. Ooh, ooh, up here. Ooh. If the ooh feels like it's sitting right back in front of your ears, right here, this area, that's where the vowels sit. And one more ah. Ah. That's pretty much, that's all the muscles I know of. But there are muscles, just so you know what I'm doing, there are muscles in that the larynx is suspended in a net of muscles. There are muscles that pull up and back, that's the palate. They pull up and forward, they pull down and back, down and forward, and those things stretch the vocal cords because and there's a cricothyroid right in the front. Those muscles are outside the larynx and they stretch the cords. It's like the top of a balloon. If you stretch the cords far enough, they will start to sing. They start to sing. And if they're not stretched properly, you'll feel effort to make the voice vibrate. So these exercises are all designed to move those muscles around the vocal cords so that they're stretched, and then they can vibrate freely and they can go up and down and do wheelies and everything else. But they need that support of the throat being in that position. So that's why I'm doing all these crazy thumbs with you. They actually have a meaning.